Justin and Angel being higher than Satu, that's crazy work, fam. I'm sorry.
Angel Reese fans are in an uproar once again. ESPN just released their top 10 rankings, and guess who's missing? That's right, no Reese in sight. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark holds a well-earned number 2 spot. And now, Reese's supporters are back at it, calling disrespect like it's their personal anthem. But here's the real question. Does being the loudest in the room actually make you the best? Or is it time to accept the rankings for what they are?
We've got ESPN's ranks of WNBA players right now. And Caitlin Clark is really damn high. One could argue she's not high enough. But I think it's pretty surprising for a lot of these folks. I will tell you this straight up. Angel Reese ain't nowhere to be found in the top 10. She's not involved. You're not here. Sorry, but not sorry. You're not to be seen.
That's right, Angel Reese. ESPN crunched the numbers, evaluated the skill, and came to a clear conclusion. She's just not top 10 material. And honestly, no surprises here. Let's be real. This has been the conversation for a while now. Is she a basketball player? Sure. But top 10? That's a bigger stretch than her headband. And before her fans flood the comments with, but she's a champion. Let's break it down. Congrats on winning a title, but let's not forget the generational point guard and stacked LSU roster that made it happen. This isn't college anymore. In the WNBA, it's about skill, not just vibes. So, what's the next move? And just when you thought it couldn't get any funnier, let's take a moment to appreciate who's sitting comfortably at number 2, Caitlin Clark. That's right, the walking bucket, the deep-range sniper, the literal face of WNBA ticket sales. Meanwhile, Angel Reese? Sitting at number 12, just 10 spots away, and honestly, even that might be generous. Reese fans saw the rankings and completely lost it. Group chats are in shambles, excuses are flying, and ESPN is suddenly biased. Biased? Come on now. The numbers don't lie. Efficiency, production, impact. Reese isn't even in the same stratosphere as the league's elite. She's out here struggling to finish at the rim, yet y'all have the nerve to put her in the same conversation as true stars? Be serious.
Oh, let's all get a laugh together here, because this is the list. And you see the list, right? Well, I don't see, correct me if I'm wrong, do you see Angel Reese on this list?
And then, because the comedy never stops, Angel Reese hits unrivaled, thinking she's about to prove ESPN wrong. Y'all, I couldn't make this up if I tried. Her fans were out here posting clips from that glorified YMCA Open run, like it was Game 7 of the finals. They were hyping up contested layups like we didn't just watch her struggle all season. Acting like grabbing 10 rebounds in a pickup game somehow erases the fact that she's barely scraping 50% from the free throw line. Let's be real, no amount of off-season highlights can rewrite what we already know.
We've got to be completely honest here. It is a league first and foremost, and the most important thing is that the league long-term is going to be profitable, or at least it looks like it has the potential to be. Otherwise, once that TV deal is done in 3 years, it's over. And right now, this has not been the greatest look in the world for Unrivaled.
And let's not forget the funniest part. Her so-called biggest rival, the one she swore she was better than, is sitting pretty at number 2. Caitlin Clark didn't even have to break a sweat. She just exists and the basketball world takes notice. Meanwhile, the WNBA had to make sure their star girl, Aya Wilson, held the number 1 spot. Because let's be real, if we're talking pure impact, Caitlin has already shifted the entire landscape of the league. But hey, keep the debates coming. Reality isn't changing anytime soon.
This year they got it closer to being right. It's more so, it's closer, okay? She's second. And I'm fine with that, you know what I mean? Asia, let Queen Asia be number 1, because you don't want to, if Asia's not first in everything, then You know, WNBA Twitter and WNBA Instagram and WNBA TikTok, and they all go crazy. And
Angel Reese fans were in full celebration mode last night, acting like she just dropped 50 and single-handedly won a championship. They were hyped, claiming she was making a statement against the rankings. Against who, though? The Mystics? A team currently fighting for the title of most irrelevant franchise? Be serious. Yes, she secured another double-double by rebounding her own missed shots. Someone needs to tell her that padding stats off her own bricks is not the flex she thinks it is. At this point, the rim is her toughest defender, and she's in a toxic relationship with the backboard. But if you ask her fans, they'll swear she just dominated prime Sylvia Fowles. Now, let's talk about the real elephant in the room. Reese's team actually plays better when she's not on the floor. Don't believe it? Let's look at the evidence. The one game they won recently? Yeah, that happened after Reese got ejected. The team came alive, moved the ball, played with actual energy, and shockingly won. It's almost like basketball isn't just about screaming "Bayou Barbie" and pointing at a ring she doesn't have. Her teammates must be exhausted watching her flop, cry to the refs, and spend more time on TikTok than at the free throw line. Meanwhile, her fans are writing Twitter essays about how she's the best rookie in the league, completely ignoring the fact that her team looks like a well-oiled machine when she's not on the court.
But if you guys look at where the games are, they put the Phantom on first twice. So I'm telling you, people are turning off after watching the Phantom play. So the Phantom and Laces game was an embarrassment at the beginning. It was an absolute embarrassment. That was the game where...
Let's be real, this was never about basketball for Angel Reese's fans. They'll hype her up no matter what. She could trip over her own feet, miss a layup, and somehow they'd spin it into she's changing the game. Meanwhile, her unrivaled team's coaching staff is probably sketching up plays that involve her getting ejected every game. Because let's not pretend, Rose BC plays better without her. The numbers don't lie. The ball moves smoother, the offense flows better, and yet, Reese's fans think a clunky double-double against a struggling team proves she's the future of the league. If stat padding by rebounding your own misses is the new standard, sign me up, I'll be a WNBA All-Star by next week. But what about those huge off-season improvements Reese fans kept hyping up? The MVP loading claims? The "she's about to take over the league" takes? These folks live in a fairy tale where Angel Reese is the main character and ESPN is the villain. But here's the issue. ESPN's rankings don't care about delusions. While her superfans act like she's the second coming of Prime Shaq, ESPN has her sitting at number 12. Not top 5. Not top 10. 12. That's how you know a fan base is in denial. They're out here celebrating like she cracked the top 3 when in reality, she's barely scraping into elite conversations. Meanwhile, she's ranked right behind players who have actually been producing. And yet, the delusion continues. Now, let's talk about Caitlin Clark, the player actually making real, undeniable, game-changing improvements. The one ESPN has as a top 2 player in the entire league, right behind Aya Wilson, the best player in the world right now. And yet, even Aya is starting to feel the heat. Aces fans, it's over. The dynasty? Over. The shortest dynasty in basketball history. I've never seen a dynasty that lasted 2 seasons and then fell apart. Ring-chasing free agents are leaving Vegas, and suddenly, that super team magic is wearing off. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is out here putting in real work, draining logo threes, diming up teammates, and playing with that cold-blooded killer mentality. And Angel Reese fans? They're in absolute shambles over it. They can't comprehend how Caitlin is ranked number 2 while their girl is barely holding on to 12th. Oh, and let's not forget, these were the same people who swore Caitlin's game wouldn't translate to the WNBA. Now, she's ranked higher than nearly every veteran in the league before, even playing a game. It's almost like talent actually matters. Who would have thought? So, let's be honest, what huge improvements is Angel Reese supposed to have made? Did she upgrade her ability to flex after a layup? Improve her mid-range by missing more shots? Maybe she got better at trash talk. You can't guard me. Which hilariously backfired in Unrivaled. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is out here pulling up from the logo, threading no-look passes, and has the entire WNBA on edge before the season even tips off. That's what real improvement looks like. Not just yelling, "I'm better," without the stats to back it up. Even when she's not on the court, Caitlin is packing arenas. Her jersey retirement at Iowa? Tickets for that event sold for more than some NBA games. That's impact. And speaking of impact, Angel Reese fans are running out of excuses. They're pushing a narrative ESPN already shut down. Caitlin got ranked exactly where she belongs, at the top. And Angel? Well, let's just say number 12 is looking real comfortable. So Reese fans, keep the fake hype going if it makes you feel better. Meanwhile, the rest of us will sit back, watch Caitlin Clark take over the league, and wait for the next round of excuses when Angel gets outshined again. And if you want to talk numbers, let's compare. Angel Reese's debut with Rose, BC, lost half its viewership after the first game. Caitlin Clark? Iowa retired her jersey before she even left. Her number will never be worn again. Meanwhile, Angel's jersey is probably sitting in an equipment closet, waiting for the next freshman to grab it. Oh, and remember when Caitlin sold out Kinnick Stadium? A football stadium. Over 55,000 people paid just to watch her shoot from the logo. Meanwhile, Angel is playing in front of a couple thousand fans, still trying to convince people she's the face of the league. Let's not kid ourselves, the only thing Angel Reese is the face of is overhyped tweets and TikTok dances. Ticket prices for Iowa games? Sky high. People were out here taking out loans, selling kidneys, offering their firstborns just to sit in the nosebleeds. Meanwhile, tickets to see Angel probably came free with a Happy Meal. And on the court, Caitlin's been cooking defenders, hitting logo threes, and making people look like traffic cones since day one. Angel? Still stat-padding rebounds and throwing up contested layups like she just discovered basketball. The Caitlin Clark effect is real, and it's got the entire WNBA shook. She came in, and suddenly Aya Wilson isn't just cruising at the top anymore. She's got company. Sold-out arenas, record-breaking ratings, and fans who never watched the WNBA suddenly know what a pick-and-roll is. Aya Wilson? She better lace up tight, because Caitlin Clark isn't just here. She's taking over. And Angel Reese? Oh, Angel. While Caitlin and Aya battle for the throne, Reese is out here struggling to crack the top 10. Wasn't she supposed to be a superstar? But somehow, she's getting outshined by players who didn't even have half her hype coming in. Let's be honest, Caitlin's biggest competition isn't even Angel. It's Aya Wilson. And the way things are looking, even Aya might have to fight to hold on to that number 1 spot. Caitlin Clark will win Rookie of the Year. She's even a legit MVP candidate in her first season. She's not beating Aya for MVP yet, but she's already lapped Angel Reese for Rookie of the Year. That race? It was over before it even started. Caitlin Clark been that girl. Angel Reese? Just along for the ride, still trying to convince us she's in the driver's seat.